situation though. I think that might even be a good situation to be in as a videographer, because you're still providing a solution to their problem. I would want to be the wisest, because when you're wise, it comes with power. But there's going to be many more challenges, and I say this to all my music people, my creatives. I'm like, yeah.
What's something that people need to know about your industry in videography?
Essentially platforms like this, where they get to be themselves and not feeling like everyone's trying to catch them out.
Big up, big up, big up. It's Creative Insight Podcast. We're live in the building. We got Sauc3e.
Come on.
Let's go. Thanks for featuring on the show, man. How you been?
Worries. Good, thank you. How have you been?
Nah, it's been good. Been filming all day. And we're live on Instagram. So if you guys got any questions for Sauc3e, yeah, send them in. What do you want to know? You might see that I got a lot of questions to find out for myself, but if you guys got some, throw them in there as well.
For sure.
Aircon going off, because you know how we do. Yeah. Cool. So first of all, I'm going to ask, how did you get the name Sauc3e?
How did I get the name Sauc3e? So I got the name, let's say 4.5 years ago. I was sitting down, I was like, oh, actually, I'm quite saucy, and everything I do, I believe in my sauce. And that was a term that myself and other people used to use back in the day. So I literally came up with that. And then I went on Instagram, tried to get the name, and somebody had already taken the name Sauc3e in America. So I was like, do you know what? Let me add the 3, because it's a bit,
I was going to say, why the 3?
Yeah.
Was it significant? Birthday? No?
I mean, no. But in terms of, I'm quite spiritual and religious.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the name, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, there's 3.
Oh, okay,
so I thought,
yeah.
do you know what? Let me just, do
Oh,
that.
sick,
So
yeah. Hey, nice.
Yeah.
Love that. So what inspired you to start doing music?
Oh, good question. So what inspired me to do music is what I've been through. So my journey, it hasn't been, I'm not going to say the easiest, because I feel like everyone's got a story and everybody goes through stuff. But with myself, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges that I've had to obviously face. And I started music as therapy. So yeah,
that's how the journey began in music. Yep. But we know that there's more that meets the eye with Sauc3e. Yeah, it's more than just music.
It is.
It's all things creative, I would say.
Yep.
So you do a podcasting and you do videography as well, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about how everything kind of works with you in those.
Cool. So in terms of videography, I started out serving in church. So I don't know if you guys know Hillsong. You probably heard of Hillsong. They've got a base in Croydon and Tottenham Court Road. So I started out serving in church, really loved cameras. I was on the broadcast team. So I was in the control rooms, on the cameras. And I thought, do you know what, like, when you tell stories via cameras and like footage, you can really represent things in the right way. Obviously, some people use it for different things. But I thought, do you know what, I have a story to tell, and that is something that I like to do, and helping other people capture their stories. So I currently work right now, I can't really say too much, but I can say that we essentially help bridge the gap between military and civilian audiences. So just working with soldiers and seeing their mindset and the way that they react to things, I think that's quite significant in my life. And I think taking soldiers and taking that into myself, and everybody's a soldier, everyone's their own soldier. So I think God has definitely put me in the right spaces. And then that goes hand in hand with my podcast. So I started podcasting essentially because me going to all these events, speaking to other creatives, other artists, musicians, one thing that they said that they felt like was missing is essentially platforms like this, where they get to be themselves and not feeling like everyone's trying to catch them out. There are certain organisations that like to push gossip, which obviously makes numbers and makes money, but it's not about that, it's about pushing people positively. So yeah.
Nice. So having authentic conversations.
Yeah.
What would you say your podcast, like what sort of guests you usually have on your podcast as well?
So my podcast is open to all. It's not about like, numbers.
Can we feature on it?
Yeah, you can feature on it.
Ace,
come on.
You're featuring next, yeah?
Come on.
The most non-camera person here.
Come on. I actually did have a few directors and producers on there as well. It's not just tailored for musicians. It's for all things creative. And I think it's nice to have kind of directors, producers, and you get their take on it in terms of the challenges they faced, and then also the artists. I think it's just bridging that gap. And some of the artists may not understand. Everyone's full of egos. I've got ego, you've got ego. You have ego. Yes, you do.
No ego.
We all have egos.
No pride.
But I think it's tapping into that, knowing
No.
that.
You saying you
like,
have no ego means you have an ego.
I ain't got no ego. But
He's too proud for it. He's too proud.
Well, sometimes in the industry, especially in music, we are surrounded by a lot of people with egos. And I think it's just channeling when you should use it and how to use it correctly. So, yeah. That's
nice. And like, how do you balance? Because obviously you're doing a lot. So how do you balance? How do you maintain everything and keep everything pushing forward?
That is a good question. Balancing is challenging. I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I'm a creative, I'm also a human. I'm not a robot. I'm not artificial intelligence. So, I'm not AI.
Not AI, man. No.
Do things speedy. But I think for me, it's always asking God and asking, like, what is my purpose? Am I living out my purpose? And it's a bit deep. Don't want to go too deep.
No, man, that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
We're here for it.
And all of us, including myself, you, Ace, the people watching, we all are on borrowed time. And I feel like, what am I going to do with the time that I have here? So I'd pretty much rather be, I don't want to say stressed and overworked, but I'd rather be producing work and producing the fruits of my labour, which is creativity, and helping other people channel their purpose through that, as long as I live.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Do you have a favourite thing you like to do in, like, so you got videography, podcasting, music? Is there one that's like, oh, you know what, you're leaning more towards it? Do you have a favourite?
I don't have a favourite.
Yeah.
But I will say that I love videography because so in work I do a lot of like drone operations and drone footage as well, so I can take drone footage if you guys ever need.
Shout them,
and I've actually got my certification for that. So big up to my workplace for really channeling and pushing me. But I think it's just being able, with that specifically relating to drones, is being able to see things that I wouldn't necessarily be able to see if I wasn't at a height. So just that, it's just mad.
So like videography, would you say, it's kind of leading your creativity at the moment?
Yeah.
But it kind of works, because if you're doing music, you can be sort of having a creative hand in the direction of your videos as well. Do you do that? Do you sort of direct your video, or do you let your camera person sort of just take the reins?
So I trust my camera people, 100%. But what I will do is, if there's a specific shot that I feel like I need, I will ensure that is taken.
Yeah.
And yeah, in terms of lighting, I think everything works hand in hand. I've even shot, so big up Args, Alico, come on, slap it up out now. Jestic, Virgo, these are like my music entourage.
Yeah. Nice.
And even with them, like us guys, they're really good at camera stuff. Like if it's like doing a freestyle, we'll quickly jump on our phones, know what settings to film in 4K. Don't really need, not to say we don't need a cameraman, but if it's something we need to push out,
you can do it in house.
Yeah, we can do it in house, and that cuts costs, expenses. It allows us to be creative with it, and I would say that it all works hand in hand.
Nice. And so, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I feel like every single person that I come across inspires me, even if individuals seem to be positive, negative. I mean, everyone's got their own stories, but I would say people inspire me.
Nice.
People inspire me.
Yeah, perfect. Who would you most like to feature with, music wise? Yeah, actually, I got two questions. This one,
Ooh, who would I like to feature with?
Can be anyone in the world.
Anyone.
Yeah, your dream feature.
Jeez,
dream collaboration. Dream collaboration.
Future. Hendrix.
Future.
Hendrix.
And why is that?
Hendrix all day, because I feel like Future's music just gets me through. Like March Madness, you've got 56.
He's got music for like every kind of vibe, every kind of scene. Yeah.
But there's also Never Stop, the deepest tune. Like I remember I was going through a few things at the time, a couple years ago, and Never Stop got me through. Like that tune, hard.
Future, if you're seeing this,
Hendrix, come on, we gotta do this.
Listen, shout Sauc3e, yeah. And then that's gonna line me up for my next question. Yeah, who do you most want to shoot a video for? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Which artist?
Who would I like to shoot a video for?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna go for someone in the UK. Who would I like to shoot a video for? I'm gonna say Nines or Heady One.
Oh, okay.
Nines or Heady One, 100%.
What do you think you could add? Because they've got like a high production value. Yeah, like what do you think you could bring that could like elevate it even more? What would you say you could do to like make them stand out.
And are you talking in terms of visually or in terms of more production side of things?
Maybe like ideas or Yeah.
I would say Heady One and Nines, especially Nines with is it Crop Circle?
Crop Circle.
Hard. And I feel like the way we tell stories on screen, and being part of, like, I'm from South East London, so growing up, I was involved with many different groups of people.
Yeah.
And not to judge, they grow up in different environments under different circumstances. So I feel like for me, having that authenticity and having grown up in that, and being able to witness certain things, I feel like the authenticity is something that I would definitely be able to help them project on screen in terms of visuals and like just different angles as well, like Crop Circle, hard. When I saw the drone footage, I was like, hard.
You could do that.
Like, this is something that definitely up my streak. So yeah.
What's something that people need to know about your industry in videography that they don't like? Yeah, people need to, like, the average person doesn't know about a videographer, you know, because you might maybe not everyone understands the full job of what a videographer does. So maybe what's a couple of things you could share with us?
I would say what people need to understand about videographers is that they're essentially the backbone to every production. There's obviously a big difference between somebody that shoots something. Like, I could literally just say, oh, let's go off and shoot something, and I can go and do that. But there are videographers that are skilled at different levels. And so really try and understand, especially if you're an artist and you're working with a videographer, try and have that respect and try and understand, like, you know, how much experience they have. For myself, I've gone to uni for 3 years, graduated in 2019. And then obviously I do this as an actual career. So just taking people a bit more serious. And yeah, like different videographers do different things. And I know in the music industry, you have a whole team of people. You might have people that do the risk assessments. You've got people that do the camera work. Then you've got DOP. Then you've got director. Then you've got first AD. It's 100%. Like you've got all these people coming together, but some videographers literally be doing it all on their ones. And so,
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, just bear that in mind, guys, when you're working with videographers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like the client might sometimes expect too much sometimes.
Yeah.
For maybe what they want to pay as well, I guess, right? Yeah.
Another thing I would say when it comes to client work, for videographers, by the way, because this would be like more so tips for them, is always ensuring when you're working with somebody, like, have a document. What is it that's to be delivered? What aspect ratio? What platform is it going on? What's the aim and the objectives? Because then that way, when you edit something together and it's time to deliver and they say, oh, actually, we don't want this. This is not what we wanted. Actually, we agreed on it in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you want something different, we're going to have to make a whole new contract. And I think that's something that, like, even in my workplace, this is something that we've got an accounts team, so they handle all of that. They do like the client facing, and we're just we come out and shoot. Yeah. But I think it's really helpful because it allows us as videographers or producers to
focus on that creative side.
The creativity, the lighting, how we're going to tell that story. And I think, it's important to have a team. But that's one thing I would say to videographers.
So try and build a team, would you say?
I would do what suits you best, because for me, I like lone working, and I like independent working, and I think that's primarily because of the experiences I've been through. Yeah. Not to say I wouldn't work with people, because I love working. Like I said, I love people, but
you've had experience that made you want to work alone.
Not work alone, but it's just, I think I'm in a very spiritual zone at the moment where I'm really like spending time with myself. And so when I get to a stage where I feel like actually I'm more open to working with, you know, like a broader team. I would love to, because I love people, and I think multiple ideas is better than one. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Nice. And okay, generally, what's one tip you'd give to other videographers as well? Like someone, let's say they haven't bought their camera yet, or they're just thinking about it. They're looking like, you know, how can they break into this field? What would you advise them?
I would say, if you're an upcoming videographer, and let's say, for example, you don't have the camera, maybe finances is an issue for that. I've been there in the past where I'm like, bruh, I'm not spending $1,000 or $2,000. I'm not spending $3,000 on the camera. Why? Like, you know, but I think work with what you have. Some people might be like, oh, like I've got an old VHS like camera.
there's a lane for that, you know.
But there's a lane. Thank you. People like that old VHS look. 100. People like that, like back in the day, you know, the 90s. Like that.
Giving that 90s effect. Yeah, true.
Do you understand? And you can actually create your niche from that. So I would say work with what you have. If you've got an iPhone, I've got an iPhone 15 Pro Max that shoots 4K. It shoots slow motion 120 to 240 frames per second, which is mad. If I show you, I'm going to show you a video. You're going to be like, what? The video, it looks better than
I was going to say, so do you think, iPhone will eventually kill the job of a videographer?
I don't want to say it will kill the job of the videographer, but I will say it will open up more opportunities for us to be lighter and more mobile when we're traveling. Like, if I can bring this and a phone tripod as opposed to a big camera or a Sony FX6, I'm more than happy to bring this because I'm carrying less.
But wouldn't the client say, right, so why are we hiring you when we can get our own phone and shoot it ourselves?
However, I mean, I hear that. Well, then, I mean, they wouldn't be coming to me then. Go and do that. But I feel like I've seen people shoot things on cameras and I've seen iPhone footage. And I'm like, bruh, the iPhone's way. But it just really depends on what you're trying to create.
I was just thinking, because like, even if the client does decide to shoot on their iPhone, they don't know the angles that a videographer knows. They don't know how to get a close-up, or even how to, once they've got all that footage, how to even put it together, how to do transitions, how to do titling, motion graphics.
What you can do in that situation, though, I think that might even be a good situation to be in as a videographer, because you're still providing a solution to their problem. Okay, I need to go and shoot this. I don't know the angles. Can you create a mood board or create like a shot list? And you're still getting paid for a service.
True.
It might be less. Little 50 quid. That's a pink note.
Still, exactly, it's something.
You can buy a camera with that later on.
Exactly. There you go. Put it towards investing. No, that's true too. So it's not about, you don't want to shut the opportunities out completely. It's just about still trying to find a way to work with the client. So that's good, because then even if, like, you might get times where you might have given them a quote, but it's too high.
Yeah.
You know, what'd you do in that scenario?
So my boy John, shout out to the Purpose Led podcast, because they're actually cold. They were talking about this. My friend John, he was saying, because I had a conversation with him previously, and I was really stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, how do these people even operate in this industry on a bigger scale? And he was like, one thing I will say to you is your lowest paying clients will give you the most stress, and your highest paying clients won't give you that much stress. And when I did it, I was like, bruh, what is he trying to say here? But then when you actually deep, you're like, it's so true. If you're working with people that, for example, if I offer you if you say to me, look, Sauc, I want you to shoot me a video, and I say, okay, Josh, I'm going to shoot something for you, but this is my price, and you say, oh, that's too high. Okay, I can then say to you as a videographer, instead of being ignorant, like I said with egos, I could then say to you, well, this is the quote and this falls outside of it. However, let's try and work a negotiation of, you know, maybe you shoot it yourself and I can help you with the shot
or
list.
You reduce the hours or something.
Or reduce that. Or even if it's just a thing of, okay, you can find somebody else, or I can find somebody else for you that's maybe less qualified, but they're still going to be able to do the job you want. But most people, they want the quality. So it's the quality you're paying for.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the experience you're paying for.
It's the experience, the quality.
If I've gone to university for 3 years and I've put that work in, and I understand, and I'm doing the risk assessment, I'm doing the production planning, you should pay for that.
Yeah, of course.
But then not many videographers, for example, do risk assessments. If you're just going on set and rocking up with a camera, maybe you need to start thinking about your skills versus your ability. Because skills and ability, and actually being, skilled to do something, is completely different. So yeah, that's what
So do your risk assessments, permits.
Yep, exactly.
What do you think about stuff like that? So like, someone that's starting out, they might just want to, just shoot, go somewhere and film. What would you recommend they should, like, how do you even go about getting a film permit for those that I don't know? How do you do that?
So if you're going out there in this world and you're trying to get a film permit, it really depends on the location. So for example, if the location's exterior, so let's say we want to go and film in a park, you can check on the local council website, because that will tell you who owns the place. It will tell you the actual perimeters of the land, who actually owns that. You can call them, you can email them. Sometimes I am aware that it's hard to like get these people online, or they don't respond. You're like, mate, I need to shoot as quick as possible. But you can, at least if you send an email and you record it, the email's there in your inbox, you go and shoot. If anybody comes and says anything to you, you can show them, okay, we won't use it. However, you've still taken that opportunity because they could still approve it after. They say, you know what, they've taken the extra measures.
Yeah.
If it's something like, for example, like a car park, again, same thing. Who owns the car park? Speak to people, even the security guards. If you go inside, you know, I want to use this, but I mean, to be fair, that's why I say shooting on your iPhone is different, and you can get away with a lot more. Because if you shoot on your iPhone, this is a personal thing, which means even if you do use it for visuals, people can't really say it because it's an iPhone. So
the moment they see you with that camera,
if you're coming in to a shopping mall and
the lighting, oh,
you're getting bagged, mate.
Forget it.
Security's coming and they're locking it off.
Forget it.
You better get out. But yeah, that would be my advice. Just always check the locations that you're filming in. I think it's the London Film. Oh, I can't remember. The London Filming Location Society or something.
Oh, okay.
And they say that there's like a list of things. If, let's say, for example, me and you are shooting outside on the streets of London, and there's like passerbys, you're allowed to still use them in your footage if they're passing by, even if they say, oh no, you can't do anything about that because you're passing into the frame. It's not like we're taking a close up of your face. So it's just things like that. And once you know what you're allowed to do, you can then start not breaking the rules, but you can then start, you know how to work around things. Yeah. But I would say follow the system and then later on work around the system if you feel that's fit for you.
What's been one challenge you faced in overall?
One challenge that I
actually
faced?
three. Well, because you got a lot. Three challenges. You can pick one from videography, one from music, one from podcasting.
Okay, so let's start with music.
Yep.
So one of the challenges that I've faced in the music scene is, I'm gonna say it's a conglomerate of things, but I would say knowing how to make the decision on who to work with. That would be one decision.
Knowing how
challenge.
To make the decision.
Yeah, knowing how. So basically, learning how to make conscious decisions on who to work with. Not everybody you should work with, and not everybody's values align with your values. So even if the person sounds good, which many people do, I can appreciate that as a lover of music, but if they don't align with your values in terms of what you believe in ethically, maybe revisit that. And but that's something I've definitely learned, hence the reason why y'all haven't really got that many features this year.
exclusive
yeah, it's exclusive. So the people that you see me working with, there's a connection there. There's
it makes
vibes,
sense.
Respect. I'm really big on respect. And yeah, that would be one for music.
Videography.
A challenge for videography. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna say it relates to drone. So the drone. Oh really?
Stuff. Okay.
So when I first did my drone test, I failed. So I did the theory.
Was it
twice.
complex to do?
It was literally like 50 questions.
Oh, it's actually a theory test.
It's a theory test you have to do, and then practical. The theory, the questions were so easy. Yeah. But they word it in a way to trick you, to make you think. So you will pick the other.
They try to catch you up.
I failed. I got like 4 marks off. I was so annoyed. I was so angry. But then
was it like a multiple choice type of thing?
Yeah, so basically they'll have a question and then they'll have three
answers.
And you have to, some of them as well will be like, oh, is it all of the above? And I'm like, you're trying to bag me. I was like, you're trying to bag me. But I think that was a big challenge for me because when I was like, oh, am I even supposed to do this? But then in my head, I was like, I just kept on hearing fly high. Yeah. And I thought, nah, I need to do it again. Did it again, passed it, and then basically did my practical part. That was a challenge because I was like, I wanted that first time. But that obviously taught me endurance and being patient.
100%. So even through the challenges, there's lessons to be learned.
Exactly.
That's why I always ask.
Exactly. Cool. And then the third one
podcasting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what's the challenge?
The challenge for podcasting, there's many. But there's many in life. Anyway, we'll
100%.
With podcasting, I think one of the challenges that I've also faced would be editing.
So what about the editing makes it challenging?
So what about the editing that makes it challenging is, for me, working it's not even a 9 to 5 because sometimes we'll be doing more. We'll be working on weekends. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
videography,
we'll be flying out. With work, it's really, I love it though because it's just, it's different every single day and it's unique. But for me, it would be the editing, and sometimes my timings will have to change because I'm on a shoot in a different country. So the schedules will change, and then it's like, okay, I've got an audience, so I have to make sure that I'm pushing out at this time. So I think that would be the challenge for me. And also being a one-man crew, like I said before, I love it. But at the same time, the beauty of working in a team is you're able to kind of alleviate the stress amongst all of you. So that, okay, you could do editing for 6 hours. I pick it up the other 6 hours.
That's it.
We're working together,
Thank you.
Rather than just one person stuck at a screen
it's
like
true.
a zombie. But yeah, that
very,
would be...
I like your mindset, very solution-minded.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you always see learn the lesson from the challenges.
Exactly that. Exactly. But there's going to be many more challenges. And I say this to all my music people, my creatives. I'm like, whoever you work with, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be tensions. But how do you, and it all starts with the ego. I think it starts with the ego. I had to sit down, was it last year, 2023? And I had to really ask myself, like, what do you want? What are you projecting? And what is it that, like, if I'm going to a room full of creatives, if I feel a type of way, or I feel like I have to be rude, that's something to do with me. It's got nothing to do with how you're making me feel or you're making me feel. It's about
it's
what
looking
in
into
me.
yourself.
Why do I have to be screw face? And I don't know you. You don't know me. If you had a conversation with me, bro, this girl's lit. You wouldn't even
exactly.
be thinking to show me bad vibes.
So maybe it's just like a mindset thing. You have to kind of...
It's a mindset thing. But a lot of people are trapped. And so it's peak. And so even when you do music and you're doing all these music videos, you're going to all these lit parties, why are you doing it? And what are you missing? Because majority of people are missing something. Really.
Damn.
But yeah.
5 minutes. Okay. Hold on. Right, got a couple questions here.
Ooh.
Some people have sent in some.
Hey.
Here we go.
What are you lot asking, Sauc3e, now,
go.
huh?
Right. They said, right, hold on.
You better mind what you ask me, you know. I'm joking.
What camera should I buy?
Ooh, what camera should I buy? I would say do research. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. When I started out, I got a Canon 700D, which is very, very basic camera, by the way. But I would say Sony A7. If you're gonna start out, Sony A7's good because that will carry you for the next 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
And they said, the next one is, how can I find clients?
How can you find clients? Within your circle, your friends, mate. Like if, for example, if you're a musician and you think, I want to do videography, your friends, shoot videos for your friends. Like, literally.
Let your immediate circle be your first clients.
Literally that. So yeah.
Nice. Cool. I think.
Also, quickly to add to that.
Go.
Also, if you have family members that have, like, everyone's got a birthday. So if you want to do videography at their birthday.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, there's opportunities there.
Good point. And then someone just said R&B or hip hop.
Oh, baby.
R&B or hip hop. R&B or hip
taking
hop.
both.
R&B or hip hop.
If
you had to pick.
R&B, actually.
R&B? Fair.
I can't believe I did that.
Fair.
I can't believe I did that one. But yeah, R&B.
All right, that's a couple questions there that people have been sending. I've got a couple I wrote down as well. All right. A couple philosophical ones. Yeah. Well, actually, would you rather be the most powerful person in the world or the wisest person in the world?
I would want to be the wisest because when you're wise, it comes with power.
Facts, like that.
Even if it's power within. Because when you're wise, people, it even says in the Bible, when you're wise, you'll be attacked more because obviously you ignite something in other people when they know they need to change. But I'd rather be wise.
Nice. Home studio or professional setup?
Professional setup. The reason why I'm saying that is because I have to big up Automatic Pro Bow, my engineer, hardest. Big him up.
Yeah.
The reason why I say not home studio is because I like the traveling to the studio. It makes me a bit more, I don't want to say a bit more. It makes me more disciplined because before me going to the studio, I have to make sure that there's lyrics down on a page. Or I have to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing when I get in there.
More focused.
And I'm paying for my time.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, but I just
when
sit
you're
down
home,
and
you be too relaxed. Yeah, true that,
Exactly.
True that.
I want to do it tomorrow. No.
Nah, get it done now.
Get it done now.
You got half an hour, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah? Right.
Yes.
Big up, man. It's been a good one,
Come on.
Like, I think we got a lot out of this. Any last closing advice you got for the people out there watching in your field? Because, you're in the music, creative space. So any last bits you can just share with them?
I would say if you're creative, not even so creative, if you're a person, you're a human.
Go for it.
Yeah. Understand your emotions. Try and understand others as well. We're all going through something. Everyone's got a story. So just try and be a bit more, I don't want to say lenient, but a bit more understanding and a bit more intuitive when it comes to people, because though you're dealing with somebody who looks like they have it all together, they may be crying inside. So yeah, I'll just say that. Empathy. Peace and love, man.
Empathy.
Come on, empathy.
Big up, manners and respect. This has been Creative Insight Podcast. If you've made it to the end and you ain't subscribed, you're missing out, man. I don't know what's going on with them.
What's going on with you, man?
If you ain't subscribed 30 minutes into this video, you're going crazy. Make sure you comment as well. Drop a comment. Go and check out Sauc3e's music, podcast, videography stuff. Sauc3e, let them know where they can find you as well.
You lot can find me at Sauc3e on all platforms. iTunes Music. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nice. Big up. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe each and every time. New episodes every Sunday, 7 p.m. And we're out.